I believe I said 3, didn't I? If I did say 3, oh well. I don't care anymore. But yes, that is what happened. And I started cracking up laughing while while I was in the bathroom, and everyone was like, "What's going on?" But because there was air, some of it was still left inside of me. So when I went and I had to pee, oh my god, I farted out of my. Oh man. On the fourth day, they said, "All right, you're fine. You can eat solids. You can use the restroom. Yep, Dempsey strikes another time. I can use the restroom normally. Everything worked, basically. Uh, I was able to go home. So I put my clothes on, and I thought, maybe my parents, it's gonna get sad again, but maybe my parents will change. Maybe they'll be different now. Maybe they'll stop arguing, realizing how close they were to losing their son. No. The moment I got into the car, my parents started arguing again. My mom was driving, and my dad was inside of the passenger seat, and he was like slapping and whatnot, yelling at my mom while I was in the car. Just came out of the hospital, and that's how they were. This hasn't changed my entire life. For 17 years, almost 18 years, this is how they've been. Um, okay. But when I got home, I had to stay out of school for a few more months. Like a month or two, maybe a few weeks at the most. At the least. Sorry, not the most. Least. Dempsey strikes another time because Dempsey's kind of tired. But, okay, I'm actually gonna I'm actually tired of this. My name is Ronson Cunningham. Jokes. My name is just Ronson. The last name is actually a lie. I actually found it somewhere. But my first name is Ronson. You can call me Ron, Rons, Tank Dempsey, whatever you want. You could even call me Potato. I wouldn't care. Um, well, when I went home, I was just laying down mostly, and I had this little like machine thing where I was supposed to blow into it to try and strengthen up my lungs again, so that way I would be breathing perfectly fine because all the strain I had to put on my body getting the surgery. It was supposed to hit the top line, and when I first was doing it, it was hitting like the twentieth line, and I realized how horrible my breathing had become. It was like really shallow breaths, so I had to do that every day. After like my first week, I was hitting the third or second line, and I was like, okay, so my lungs are getting stronger again. And I had to do push-ups to strengthen up my chest, so that way my bones and whatnot had muscles. That way there was muscle for my to protect my chest, basically, since everything was all vulnerable. Um, well, yeah, I'm probably gonna end this one, and then gonna nah, I'm gonna just continue. But I had to do that. I had to do push-ups. I went back to school, started ninth grade, fell in love with my girl. Well, liked a girl who was the seventh grader. Her name is, well, I'm gonna tell you her nickname. Her nickname is Lonnie. It is now my girlfriend, and I'm out of school, going into college. actually tomorrow, starting college, and she is a senior. Um, well, going in the ninth grade, I told a lot of people about my surgery. Well, actually, a few. I actually don't like telling people about my surgery because a lot of them feel bad for me. Because all of the stuff I had to go through at such a young age, I guess. Not really young. I don't know. Pretty young. Whatever. I don't care. But, they were talking to me and they're like, holy crap, you're so lucky. I'm just like thinking, how am I lucky? I almost died. Actually died, but magically I was able to come back. Um, Parents weren't the greatest. I know some people would say, well, at least you have parents. But would you really want to have parents if they, you know, didn't really pay attention to you, always were arguing and whatnot? But during the ninth grade, it was the time. It was 2 years after the surgery, and it was time for me to take the bar out. Um, I told a few of my close friends, Cullen, David, Fa, Kenneth, Kavine. I told my two teachers. Uh, I had five at the time. Mr. Cordero and Mr. Miski both became really good friends of mine. Um, I told Cordero that I would be leaving and I'd come back in a few days. He was asking, "Oh, why?" I told him I had a surgery. Told him the story I'm telling you guys now, and he was like, "Oh crap, man, it's really deep." He was asking if I wanted to share it to my class as one of our speech projects. I said sure, but maybe after my surgery. Um, so when I went back, I forget. No, they had an X-ray on every side of my body, and they realized that the bar had shifted. It had gone a little too far than it was supposed to be, and that was the chest pains that I kept having. Well, I know I wasn't talking about it earlier, but this is what the chest pains were. Every time I breathed in, there was a shocking pain in my chest and in my heart, and I stopped breathing because every time I breathed it in, it hurt really bad, worse than when my ribs were first broken. So I'd have to hold my breath. I could not breathe. If I did, it hurt. It was to the point where I felt like it was going to kill me. So I held my breath. I take small breaths in, minimize as much pain as possible. But a few times, the way I made it stop was I held my breath, held my breath, held my breath till I couldn't. And then I would pass out. And my breathing would become very slight, very low. And it wouldn't hurt. And then I'd wake up and then it would be gone. The pain would stop because I guess my heart wasn't beating fast anymore. When I tried to exercise, when I wanted to ride a bike, when I wanted to do stuff, just running upstairs like a normal child would, running up and down the stairs, running through the halls and whatnot, that would affect me. My heart would start beating fast and it would touch the bar. the reason me breathing in helped was because my chest would move up, away. They found out that the bar had shifted because there was only a screw on the right side. The one on the left side, somehow, during the time of me growing and healing, had been pushed out. It was still connected to the bar that was inside of my chest, but the left side was free to move around. So when I started running and whatnot, my heart would beat and it would pound harder and swell bigger. So that's why I kept feeling chest pains. My heart was touching the bar. I don't understand how they messed up and how I'm still alive because of that, because I really thought that it would send my heart into shock or something and just go in flux and just stop. Because, if it just keeps beating fast, it's just going to keep touching the bar repeatedly. Wouldn't something happen? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but shouldn't something happen if that happens? Your guys' personal opinions? I don't know. But when they did that, when they were taking out the bar, same thing happened, preparing for it. But when they were taking out the bar, they kind of, well, because the bar had like little notches on the side, when they were taking it out, it like rubbed against my heart, and I sent it in a more shock than it was usually in just by constantly beating it, and like the sides they rubbed was on top of a few of my arteries, and kind of like freaked out my heart. So it was just like beating really fast, and it stopped for a little bit. It was like 10, 15 seconds, and they're like, "Oh crap," because the camera was only on one side. They could not see what was going on with the left side of my chest. They could not. I don't understand why there wasn't a camera on the second side of my chest, but sometimes doctors are stupid. Just sometimes they don't think, oh yeah, maybe when I'm operating on this kid, uh, I don't need to see the left side of his body. I just need to see the right side. But flatlined again, died again. This time they resuscitated me, I think, maybe, I don't know, but my heart started back up, and they proceeded with it, bent the bar back straight, took it out, bent it again, and I still have the bar today. So if you guys like, I would show it to you guys. I'd show you the thing that kept me alive all this time. Or if you're a hater or anything, don't believe my story, I can show you it, and I can take a picture of my scars to prove it. It's on both sides of my body. It's not like I can cut myself that well, I guess, if you guys just think I'm one of those people who are just trying to seek attention. Let's see. Uh, but yeah, they took the bar out and bent it back straight. Took me off anesthesia. I woke up. Told me I'm fine. Texted my friends. Told them I'm okay. After a few hours, they told me I was able to go home, and I was just like, yay. Went home, stayed home for a few days, like one or two. And I came back, and my teacher said, okay, Ronson's back. I'm thankful that everything went okay. Thank the Lord. And I was just like, yeah, not that bad. It's not that bad. And everyone kind of turned and